I just realized I was muted the whole time. Sorry, guys. I'm quite nervous. I haven't casted one of these yet. Okay. I will redo my introduction after the introduction of the players. Spawning in the bottom right. Representing Holland. Playing for Black Knight, he is Marsman. And in the top left, from Spain, he is AqueroN. So as I was saying, before I was really interrupted by me not unmuting myself, I am Phoenix Tears. I will be your admin, caster, and host tonight. Yay! We're going to be seeing Alpha Pro Series number 61 between AqueroN and Marsman, a PvT. First map is going to be Cyber Forest. Okay, it's going to be Gateway Expand from Marsman. Absolutely no surprises. This is the most stand you can see from Protoss. And we're seeing the most stand you can see from Terran at the same time. He went Reaper Fast Expand. Yeah. Let me switch off thing in game. Oh god. There we go. Okay. It's going to be reactor from AqueroN. I'm expecting to see a couple Hellions after this. Maybe some Widow Mines. Definitely, obviously, no Cyclones, as you now do need the Tech Lab. This probe is trying to get a scout, and that re-scout in is not going to be able to survive. Normally, that Reaper does catch the probe, but it is nice sometimes to get it out. There's going to be an Adept out already for this Reaper. I'm pretty sure Marsman wants to send this out as soon as possible, if you can deal with the Reaper. A lot of Protosters have been going for 2 Adepts and cloning them out pretty hard. And you send the first Adept across the map to get a little bit of map vision, see what damage you can really get done, and you keep the other Adept home to deal with the Reaper. But Marsman's going for quite early Twilight Council, which means he's going to be going for Blink, which again, this has also been something I've seen a lot in the matchup of late. This Blink openings, especially since it was reduced. But knowing Marsman as well, he is someone who does like his Stalkers. But this Hellion is going to come up now. Yeah, both of these can't really fight each other because the Reaper's lower and Hellions take a surprising amount of damage to Adepts, as Hellions are light units. But yeah, Marsman's going to get his wall up. I really like this. You do want to get another 2 gates. I like keeping them in the wall because, as you can see, AqueroN has been making Hellions. He only did make 1 Hellion and a Widow Mine. Just Hellion's not even going to be able to get in and do anything, but it's still going to be around and keep some map presence. The Reaper comes in, and I believe he scouted the Twilight Council. He does. Okay, you're definitely assuming that this is going to be some kind of Blink opening. Okay, I was about to say Marsman hasn't taken his gases, but he takes both, but just on time. So I thought we might be seeing some kind of all-in from him, but right now he's going to be sticking just to making as many Stalkers as possible. Robo is on the way, and there is going to be a Widow Mine drop, quasi-Widow Mine drop from AqueroN. There is some Marines in, so you're trying to get the Widow Mine in line of these probes while the Marines, or even just to zone out some Stalkers while the Marines take out some probes. Let's see if Marsman is on the ball. Yeah, he's got Stalkers in the main. He does see it. Okay, a good pullback from AqueroN. That was not going to do any damage. Robo is about to finish. Okay, let's see what's happening in AqueroN land. He's going for Banshees. Interesting. It's something that has become more popular over the last year or so. You can definitely catch your opponent off guard with Banshees. But if you don't, the Banshee still normally gets some damage done, especially if it's not a Stargate opener. Okay, it's going to be a Robotics Bay follow-up with Charge. It's going to be going into Colossus, which is no surprise. He's actually going to be moving out with 4 Stalkers with Blink to see what damage he can get done. There is going to be a tank and a bunker, so just going to be able to keep some map presence. Oh, he might catch this drop. This will be really nice. This pylon spots it. Oh, the Widow Mine! Oh! Yeah, that rip Widow Mine. So, first blood, go. Wait, never mind the Reaper. First mechanical blood goes to Marsman. Okay, it's still making tanks. AqueroN, yeah, there we go. His 3rd base is on the way. I'm sure his upgrades are going to be coming out pretty soon. Okay, this is going to be something I've also seen a lot of late, especially with the Banshee. You use the Banshee to help you get into a position where you can get these SCVs and they can start building bunkers. AqueroN wants to form the most brutal contain you can as Terran. Getting some bunkers, maybe even a turret if was needed for the Colossus, because the Colossus will not have range. But this is really good for Marsman. He spotted this on the map. This is the last thing you ever want to happen is if you're the Terran player. If this army can just get across the map unchallenged and start setting up bunkers, this gets really, really hard. But AqueroN doesn't have to do damage with this. He realizes it's going to be very difficult. Marsman is being active on the map with his Stalkers. He does send them home, and he's just going to start going into upgrades. He's going to start getting his combat shield, and his third base is going to be turned into an orbital sometime soon. He realizes that wasn't going to do anything. He did try and do something. Oh, this Banshee's going to get caught out. That's a really nice pickup for Marsman. That Banshee could have been really annoying. Okay, so while that was happening, Disruptor tech had been started. So Marsman's going to be playing the Blink Stalker Disruptor. He did go for Charge Lots, which I actually really like, even though he's not going to really play Charge Lots, because Charge Lots shut down that push that AqueroN was going really hard. You need those Charge Lots to deal with the tanks. So it's not going to be Colossus, it is going to be Disrupt, as I said it. Okay, so Marsman's got 2 Disruptors, and now he's going to go into Colossus. He'll probably start to get Charge Lots as well now. Again, that's something else I've started to see from some of the Protosses. They don't commit super hard to Disruptors, they just get to do as maximum damage as possible. And have the more reliable splash damage in the Colossus. I would like a second robo at some point, especially if he's going to be sticking a Cyclops. I don't think we missed anything brutal. Nah, I don't think this first Disruptor got anything. Both of them have started to really saturate their third bases, so we're definitely going to be going into the mid to late game for sure. But both players are a tiny bit behind in tech where they normally would be, I would say. But I know, of course, for AqueroN, he was going for that push. But it doesn't look like Marsman's going to move out anytime soon, so AqueroN could be okay, but Marsman's upgrades is definitely going to be just ahead of AqueroN's. Okay, it's going to be another move out with Marauders and Marines. Ooh, ah! No! Oh, good lord, Disruptors. A Terran's nightmare. Yeah, that was actually really nice from Marsman. That was a really nice push out from AqueroN. He was trying to find some observers, get a little bit of map presence, maybe catch out a few units, but Marsman was on the ball and got a large clump of bio units. 4th base now on the way for AqueroN. I'm sure Marsman's going to posture and take one soon as well. There we go. I can't really say which position I like better. Maybe Marsman, because his upgrades are a bit ahead. And he did start to get tech units out much quicker. But, I mean, AqueroN's very much still in this game. He knows that the tech choice. He's even starting to make Liberators. He's happy with the amount of medevacs he has. But Marsman is going for that extremely important upgrade, and that is Storm. Oh, he's even going to do a nice charge load wraparound. I like this. Okay, Marauder Marine goes down. Those Disruptors need to be very careful. They're both on cooldown now. But Marsman is protecting them. Storm is not down yet, so those high tempers are pretty useless. But this charge run by should at least get a cancel. Yeah, definitely. Charge do a lot of damage very quickly. And I like that from AqueroN. I really don't think there was any chance of him saving that base. I would like him to set up another sensor tower, so you can watch for those kind of things. But both players are just being super careful right now. Both macroing up, both getting the upgrades going, both starting to tech up a little bit. Marsman's getting Storm, AqueroN's getting Ghosts, and he's getting some Liberators, and he's getting some Vikings. So they're both going for that really important late game Protoss army. And while they're doing that, they're both going to start thinking about, well, especially Marsman can start thinking about the next step, which is something like Tempest or Carriers. But this is a nice drop from Marsman. It might even force a recall. But if this High Templar, if Marsman's paying attention. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Ugh. But it's still, this drop does unload. They should be able to kill these cannons, but there is 2 stalkers that should be able to help. Huge charge shot warp in, and he's denying the third base at the same time. There's no way AqueroN can defend this. He's just not in position. I don't know if Marsman should attack into this. I really don't think he has enough. He's done exactly what he wanted to do. He's defended the drop really nicely for Marauder. And he's secured his own 4th base. Yeah, he's even starting to get Stargates. Yeah, all of a sudden I'm really liking Marsman's position. He defended that drop really well, and he's denied this 4th base for a very long time now. He's denied it twice. But AqueroN is still getting that really late game army that's just scary. He's getting ghosts. EMPs could become really, really important. I mean, they are going to be extremely important. If these High Templars are able to get all their storms off, this is going to be a very dead Terran army. Nice warp in here from Marsman in the main. He's going to at least get an add-on. Good defense though. And he's also posturing to attack in the front here. Liberators are in position though. Yeah, Marsman still has to be very careful to attack into the entrenched position. That's another huge cancel on a would-be 4th base. Even though this is flying over to this position, that is still a massive cancel for Marsman. He can even start thinking about taking a 5th base sometime soon. He can definitely start getting his fleet beacon, which he's doing. Can start even thinking about getting Tempest and even a mothership. He's not really taking a fight, but he's doing a lot of damage. Oh, disruptor! That was at least 3 ghosts. That's a fantastic disruptor shot. It may not be the juiciest, but getting 3 ghosts, even 2, is massive with just 1 disruptor shot. These disruptors are still getting so much value. 8 kills on this one. Oh, can't click on the other one. Oh, this is a fantastic position for Marsman as well. Huge warping in the main, which is AqueroN is not actually going to be able to deal with. He's going to have to lift his base. This is so good for Marsman. All he needs to do is just not take a really bad fight, and he's in a fantastic position to take this game. Warprism is going to go down though. AqueroN did defend in the main. He's just holding on. He is maxed out. He's still got a very strong army, but at some point, if he isn't being able to secure a 4th base, this is going to get very bad for him. I wouldn't mind Marsman throwing away even a few units here and start to get Tempest. Oh, really nice disruptor shot. Oh, and he almost saved the disruptor as well. Tempest, I have started 3 Stargates. This is exactly what you want now as Marsman. He just needs to not overextend. If he can buy enough time for like 6 Tempests to be out, it's going to be really good for him. This base is barely set up yet. Yeah, he really needs a planetary fortress at this base. And yeah, Marsman can just move in here, and I think he can even probably get this base. Yeah, this base is super dead. Or not. Good save. But again, he's forcing a huge lift. He's forcing a lot of resources to be put in repairing that. And AqueroN just doesn't have the gas at the moment. He's not even mining efficiently here with the gas. He needs to start doing it. And all Marsman really has to do is just keep making Tempests. I think you could give up some of these charge offs, do a little bit of a run, even if they died to the planetary fortress. Even forcing a warp in or killing like 5 or 6 SCVs would be worth it, because he needs to be able to get more Tempests out here. Oh, the Vikings overextending a little bit, and AqueroN's in a really rough position right now. I just don't. The only way I see him if he gets guard-like EMPs, takes a fantastic trade against Marsman's army, and then just wins across the map. Like, Marsman can start adding on gateways. Look, he's adding on robos. He's adding on. Oh, I think I missed an EMP at some point. Yeah, I think it goes went out for an EMP. It did get it down, but no follow up, and he didn't get the most important units, which is the High Templar. Is Marsman gonna go back in? Oh, huge SCV pool this time. Nice EMPs on the High Templar. Only 2 are left. No more storms actually with this army. Marsman has to be very careful. He needs to hightail out of there. There's not really much splash damage. These Colossus have to put in so much work, and this is still a huge bio army. I think AqueroN has done exactly what he needed to do to get back into this game. He's still pushing these Tempests and Colossus behind. Marsman just has to run as fast as he can, warp in as many units as possible, and hope that he can get enough units out. And at least AqueroN knows he can finally take a 4th base, but they still took a lot of SCV damage there. Marsman's still in a fantastic position, and AqueroN did exactly what he needed to do, just to hold on to his position in this game. Don't get me wrong, it's still looking super rough for him, but it's definitely doable now. And these 3 Colossus, if AqueroN can stop them from getting towards the rest of the army, maybe something happens here. Colossus are about to come, and one ghost goes down, the second ghost goes down. So no more ghosts here. There's a lot of storms here. Storm, I believe, yeah, storms start to go down. The Liberators are starting to go down. Tank is about to go down as well. AqueroN just waited it too long, I think. And this Bio army has to fight. It's not going to be able to get out of there with Blink. The Stalkers blink on. I think Marsman at this point could just A-move this. But he knows he's in such a fantastic position. He doesn't really need to push it. He's got Tempest. He's still making Tempest. He's going to be able to make carriers at any stage, which I don't even think he needs. His 4th base is set up. He's got Storm. He's got 5 Colossus. He's got a lot of Stalkers. I don't see how AqueroN holds us, even with insane EMPs. Oh, that's a really nice pick-off. There's actually nothing to view this army. This is exactly what AqueroN needed. Huge EMPs. These ghosts are still doing so much damage, but I still don't think there's enough. Marsman's army just kiting backwards. His ghosts are about to run out of energy. Tempest joined the party. His Mortars are just living on, but I think this should be enough for Marsman. He can warp in a whole lot of Stalkers at home. God, he just needs to make 6 observers at this point with all his robos. AqueroN's just holding on, barely. This is the kind of trades you need to take. Killing that observer over here was so huge. Really, if those two ghosts die without getting any EMPs down, or weren't able to do continuous damage here, Marsman would have walked over AqueroN's army. I mean, AqueroN is still very behind, but he's holding on. He's making a go of this. I think Marsman really needs to get a mothership at some point. It's such a strong late game unit, even if you're not going for... Okay, recall on the observer, I would imagine. There we go. Okay, Marsman needs to make 14 observers and go and deny this 4th base. And he scouted. This is really huge. And AqueroN realizes the dire position he is in, and he realizes he has to go for an orbital here. He cannot go for a planetary. He needs the mules. He needs the scans. He needs a lot from these orbitals. And the problem is it just leaves this entire base very vulnerable. There's going to be a drop on the right side. I believe Marsman will able to have a warp in of charge lots here. He may have to recall at some point, but yeah, it's actually off cooldown. He's going to stop one Zealot from warping in, but I think this High Templar should be able to shut this down. Eventually Charge Us will shut this down, and this base has been denied. As long as Marsman doesn't lose his observer again, he's in a fantastic position here. He can bust this planetary down very quickly. But Marsman has to try and hold this. Oh, Disruptor, huge splits from AqueroN. All the ghosts survive. Observer's still alive though. Oh, all the ghosts die for nothing. I think this is the beginning of the end for AqueroN. He really needs those ghosts to get value again. Now there's nothing to stop the storm, nothing to stop this Protoss army. Disruptor shot does go down. There is one ghost. Doesn't get EMPs on the High Templar though. Marsman can move through this. I think he's, because of the fights before, he's being a little bit too passive. But he can honestly ramp this, easily kill this army. Vikings are starting to go down. The army stability is still way in Marsman's favor. Disruptors go in, kill a lot of bio. There is still 2 ghosts. They get nice EMPs on the storm, but it's not going to matter. Marsman takes game number 1. Whew. PVT. Whew. That's my favorite type of PVT. Both players were macroing their heart out, and then Marsman, he realized his army was better, and he just continuously took better trades. AqueroN could never set up that 4th base. He was just, I think I underestimated how behind AqueroN was with not getting anything done with that push, because even though he had that 3rd base, he had no upgrades. He was so far behind, he could never really attack that Protoss army. He had to wait until he was maxed out. Okay, we're going to be going into Automaton for the second map. So Marsman draws first blood. Can AqueroN fight back here, or will it be a quick 2-0? I mean, that's why I love these best of 9 show matches. Like, you see best of 3s, you see best of 5s, you see best of 7s sometimes, but it really shows what a player is capable of in a best of 9 with the amount of builds they have to prepare, amount of games they have to play. These are the best kind of show matches, without a doubt. Okay, so as I was saying earlier, but I was muted, there should be a link on top of the chat. You follow that link, and it's the Matcherino link. You go to that page, you click sign in on the top right hand corner, you choose any of those accounts, and you come back to the page and you enter with the coupon code, where it says coupon code Alpha Pro Series 61, I think. Let me check the code for sure. Yeah, it's Alpha Pro Series 61, and you'll add a $0.5 to the prize pool. So please get on that, guys. Why does... Oh, never mind. Ignore me. Okay, we're waiting for AqueroN. I think he might have lobby bug. Let's see. I'm hoping not. The quicker we get these games going, the better it is. The better it is to keep the momentum going. Okay, we are ready. Let's see if Marsman continues his dominance, so AqueroN can head back here. Like, even if Marsman's able to go like 3-0 out, it's easy. AqueroN could win the next 5 maps and take a 5-3. Like, you're never out of these things, which is pretty cool. Okay. I'm gonna have Marsman playing in the red this time, so even though they're Protoss units, you still don't get confused that it's a different person or something, because I know I would. Let's do this. In the bottom right corner, top right corner of Automaton, representing Black Knight Esports, taking game number 1, he is Marsman. And the bottom left, playing in the green, he is playing Terran. Playing for Spain, he is AqueroN. Okay, interesting probe. This is a very early probe, and it's heading into a very weird location. This is almost guaranteed to be something proxy. With this position, maybe a Stargate. It could be a gateway, it could just be a proxy pilot to warp in a couple stalkers across the map. But my bet is definitely some kind of proxy Stargate here. Let's see what Marsman goes for. This is actually interesting. Yeah, it's going to be a gate. This is a little bit further than I've seen. Obviously, if you proxy here, it's very easy to scout for AqueroN. But Marsman wants to put a lot of pressure on AqueroN very early here with this placement of this gateway proxy. He's even getting a Zeta to start off. That is normally a very good indication that it's not just going to be a couple stalkers. This is going to be a lot of units warped across the map. But AqueroN could scout this. He could scout this. That would be huge. Yeah, see, this is exactly why Marsman put it where he put it. Even though it's further away from its normal position, AqueroN is not going to scout this unless he really is diligent. And it does not look like he's going to be. Okay, let's see. Stalkers, 2 stalkers on the way. We will see how all in, or if Marsman is really completely all in, as if he adds a couple more gates, or if he adds a robo or something like that across the map. This could just be to put pressure. The Zealot is going to come across the map, and it's going to be able to cancel this base if it was on the low ground. But AqueroN is smelling something. He thinks something's up, and I totally agree with him here. I mean, I know everything, but when you see a probe at that time, you start to wonder, oh, the supply debris isn't going to finish, so he can't exactly repair that yet. He is going to pull 2 SVs to repair it. AqueroN at some point does obviously have to repair this reactor. He needs to buy as much time for as many units to come out as possible. I don't think he realized that it was this so many units across the map. He's just going to really stalk us at this point, Marsman. And AqueroN just has to find some way to hold. He needs a Cyclone, he needs a tank. Whatever comes out of here needs to be the one that wins in the game. He's able to get 2 Marines out. Oh, no, he's losing them for free. I would have definitely loved a bunker at some point as well. I think AqueroN has misplayed this a little bit. He's not going to be enough time to get out of Stalker before losing a lot of SCVs. The Zealot is going to go down. Just goes down before getting another SCV. I mean, AqueroN is pushing him back. The Cyclone is going to come up. But so many SCVs have gone down already. There is an extra base. So AqueroN can kind of recover from this position. But now these Stalkers are just moving in. They're trying to get the Cyclone. It's going to be backed up into a corner. And more SCVs are going down. I mean, AqueroN can really do nothing about this, but pull as many SCVs as possible. And hopefully it doesn't lose all of them. And the Cyclone is taking a lot of damage, and there's not that much to repair it anyway. And now it's cornered. The Cyclone's going to go down. These Stalkers should start just killing SCVs. And I expect AqueroN to tap out at any time here. I think he misread how all-in Marsman was. He did think that there was something fishy going on by putting his base where he did, but he's lost way too many SCVs, even though with 2 bases. And Marsman is just rallying Stalkers at this point. He can take a base at any time. Here we go. AqueroN taps out. Marsman takes game number 2. That was so well done for Marsman. I didn't like how far there... Okay, it was proxy, but it was the perfect reaction to that. It really was. Because he expected AqueroN to scout it. And AqueroN saw with his Reaper there was no base. And he kind of sensed something was fishy with like probe timing. And I like the fact that he went for the base at the top, but if he had known what was coming, he would have got a bunker without a doubt. Bunker would have been the best thing to hold that. He would have bought enough time for a second Cyclone to come out, or even maybe a tank. But we will see. That was super rough for AqueroN, but he can definitely come back in the series. Just going to wait on his map choice. I also think that build is super hard to deal with this Terran. I'm not saying it's impossible. As I said, the bunker would have been perfect, but you really have to scout everything. I mean, 2 Stalkers showing at that time, you normally either have like a couple Marines, maybe a Hellion, maybe some Widow Mines, or if you're lucky, you can have a Cyclone out. And the Cyclone is definitely the key there, because you can micro the Cyclone back, and eventually it'll take out the Stalkers. But yeah, AqueroN's going to have to definitely keep that in mind for the rest of the series. Because that build is a very, very, very strong build. Okay, your 0 is going to be map 3. My favorite map in the map pool. Not really for how it's set up. I don't really have any problems with any of the maps really, this map pool, but I really like the color scheme. And it's, even though like it's set up like stasis with the maps, I mean with the bases, it's not like Tempest are ridiculously good here, and which made stasis so silly. Oh, and another thing really that I liked about the build was the Zealot. Because you kind of do get it when you see the Zealot, you're like, okay, he's just building a Zealot to be annoying, to bring my Reaper home. It really did kind of sell the whole thing. Okay. As you guys can hear, we're loading into map number 3. I'm expecting something different from AqueroN here. He might be a bit... I don't want to say upset, but that could be the closest word I could think of to losing to that. So he's probably thinking of some way to put pressure on Marsman in this game. Okay. Let's do this. In the top right of year 0, down 2-0 in the series, he really needs this next map to get on the board. From Spain, he is AqueroN. In the top left, playing for Black Knight, with the GL. Can he take another one and make it 3-0? It is Marsman. Also, another thing why I wanted to... I did mention earlier, but again, I was muted. Why Terrans have been sticking away from proxies. It's because Protosters have seen it all. They know exactly how to react to them. You get the shield batteries. You put... if you get enough Stalkers out, you almost always hold the all-in. And Cyclones used to be so strong in the early game for Terran. Even though they are still strong, but they're strong in a different way. They're not like you can mass them and they just melt an entire Protoss army. Now there is a bit more counterplay for the Protoss. So Terran, I feel like they're in a weird position. You know, if you talk to a lot of the foreign Terrans, but obviously I have no idea what the Korean Terrans are saying, but they are a little upset with the matchup because they feel like if they don't get some early game pressure done, which now you can't do really through proxies, or you don't get like some lucky kills with a Banshee or some Widow Mines, or you do, if you don't do it like a 2-base push like AqueroN did in game 1, Protoss can seriously just do whatever they want. And once they start to do that, they get up to Storm and they get up to a lot of Colossus. It's very hard to make the Protoss sweat in that position. But I think AqueroN's his way to victory is doing some more jobs, trying to pull Marsman apart a bit more. Maybe getting cheeky with another 2-base all-in. This is a very sneaky probe from Marsman. And it could only be sneaky in that it searches for it goes in for an extra scout. It's not going to be for a proxy, but again, AqueroN sends his Reaper down here. I think he's played against Marsman enough to know that he likes to do this. And AqueroN takes out their pro without getting any further scouting information. But it's going to be the same build that Marsman went for in game 1. He did something different in game 2, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It is going to be a Twilight Council. Probably almost definitely going to be Blink. And this Reaper should not do a lot of damage. It should do nothing because it can't jump up anywhere on this map. I wouldn't mind Marsman sending the Stalker, the Adept across the map just to see what he can find from AqueroN. But that Reaper can squirm me past the Stalker, and it can't really with the Adept. It's just because Marsman's not getting any early game sentries, and his rover is a bit delayed, so he has kind of really no idea what AqueroN's doing for a long time. Normally you want to get an observer out quickly. Ooh, okay. It is not Blink. It is not Blink at all. It is Dark Shrine. Okay, interesting. Now the game gets super, super interesting. It's going to be a Warp Prism out. This Warp Prism is going to be the one that warps in DTs. I actually casted a Proxy Tempest very recently. And Marsman went for this exact build on this exact map. And I can't remember which Terran he played, but the Terran found his Warp Prism. And he was just behind for the whole game after, because the DTs didn't do a lot of damage. But if the DTs get in and do it, and there was also turrets by that point, the Terran scouted, I think it was with a scan or a Reaper or something like that. But if AqueroN, who I don't think has any idea this is going to be coming, if he doesn't catch this Warp Prism before DTs are warped in, this is going to get super rough, and this could be a very quick 3-0 for Marsman here. Oi. Okay, let's see. He's got one scan. Oh, if he drops this mule, this is so bad. No, don't do it. Don't drop the mule. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I foresee it. Okay, D2 DT's in the main. The third one's going to go into the natural. Okay, he hasn't... Okay, this is very holdable for AqueroN. He can make something really happen here. If he didn't have a scan, this would be really bad. This natural would take a long... this main would be a long time until it was defended. But he is starting to split the focus, and he's got some damage done, which is really what you want to be doing with this build. It's not super all-in from Marsman. If you don't do any damage, you're going to be super far behind. Now he has a 14 worker lead. And he gets out with all his DTs, I believe. So he could definitely use those for Archons later. And while that is happening, he's now getting his Blink. He's going into Immortals. He's getting some more gateways. He's going to take a third at some point as well. Ooh, Don't want to lose this War Prism. No. Oh, this War Prism going into dangerous territory. Oof. Yeah, you gotta drop the DTs. Oh, nice. That was really nice from Marsman. Nice from AqueroN. He did try and get this War Prism, which is going to be so annoying, but just dropping those DTs, stopping those Marines in its tracks. Yeah, I really like this move from AqueroN. I feel like he has to do damage. Oh, this is really good for Mars when he spots the drop. He can get into position and defend this. He's going to have more than enough Stalkers to deal with this. Yeah, I think AqueroN realizes that he's going to clear this. He's going to get the tower back. Oh, TTs are going to come in again. There's no units at home now that he's gone for this drop, and Marsman knows this. He could even go straight for this turret, and I don't know if there's any more scans. There's one scan. Oh, these TTs are doing so much damage. This is bordering on game-ending damage from that Marsman is doing here. How many SCVs have gone down? 19, and only one probe, and that was the scouting probe. But the War Prism is going to go down if this War Prism survives. And feels bad. Feels really good for AqueroN though. If he didn't kill that War Prism, this would have been the worst trade for him ever. Oh, this is bad for AqueroN. He really does have to do some kind of counter damage. He's going to go for a drop again and see what he gets done. He's got to kill a lot of probes and he's going to kill them quickly because Marsman's even posturing to take a third base. Okay, Stalkers are placed in the main. He does anticipate this coming. Let's see. Okay, he's going to go straight for the natural, I think. Okay, no, these Stalkers are way in position. They have blink. Oh! Poor AqueroN. I mean, Marsman can actually fight this a bit and then just blink out. He's going to lose a couple Stalkers for it. But I still think that was definitely worth it with him being ahead. He picked up a whole medevac. Well, this drop is going to catch him out of position. Recall. No recall on this Nexus. Okay, this drop can now do some damage. Stalkers are going to blink in. They're going to get the first medevac. But don't know if they can fight this army anymore. Yeah, AqueroN just has to get out of there, to be fair. If he stays a bit longer, he's going to lose an entire medevac. And he's already behind in this game. Okay, this DT's still patrolling. He knows if AqueroN makes... Marsman knows if AqueroN's going to make a huge move out. This is like the worst possible start you can get for AqueroN in this game. Still, his third base is on the way. He is kind of keeping up in the work count. But the issue is, I mean, Marsman is in a different phase of the game here. To be fair. Oh! Huge save from AqueroN. Right, so he's in a different phase. It's just like, he's got Colossus already on the way. Blink. Charge is about to be done. And AqueroN really has just got like a few units of mines. I don't even think he has any upgrades at this point. He's only got +1. Oh, this TT's still doing damage. Oh, no, that medevac's dead. There's no detection again from Marsman here. I really wish he'd get detection for... I think it's the only thing missing from his game right now. This Archon has come back. The DTs have come back to haunt him. Like, I think Marsman realizes it's going to be very difficult to push him up this ramp, and now with the second Colossus, he should be completely fine. Huge force fields, all the Marauders go down. That was really the tankiness of this army. Marsman is marching through. The SCVs have to be pulled. The base is lifted. More SCVs are going to go down since he can just keep microing back. A huge warping of charges comes at the same time. All the SCVs go down. All the Marines are going to go down. All the Marauders are going to go down. The medevacs are out of energy. Huge widow mines. It wasn't going to be near enough. And Marsman takes a very quick 3-0 lead in the series. DTs. Easily the most annoying thing in this game. Okay, AqueroN really... if I was him, I'd ask for a break. I'd take a break, breathe a little bit, try and clear his head and come back with a clean slate. Because if he loses the next one, he's already match point down. I'm gonna hound you guys again. There should be a link on top of the chat. Please click on the Matcherino link, follow that page, click on sign in the top right hand corner. Once you've signed in with any of those accounts, you go back to where it says coupon code, you type the coupon code Alpha Pro Series 61, and you donate $50 to the prize pool and to these wonderful players who, without a doubt, deserve this. Okay, we're going to be going New Repugnancy for next map. There's nothing like really interesting when players pick maps in this map pool, which some people say is a curse because there's not that much variety. But I think the maps vary enough where when there's not like one map that's like super stupid that no players don't like playing. You know, like I mean, Stasis was hated by everybody, almost everybody, and for it to be like the decider in a best of 7, which it almost always was, it was rough for especially Terran players because that map was so brutal in PvT. You know, AqueroN really needs to, I think, just breathe. He's only 3-0 down, like, funny enough to say. Still very much winnable from here. You can definitely come back from this. We've almost got everyone in the lobby. Once we do, we'll get this game underway. Anyone want to try and take a stab at a prediction, yeah? Because I really believe in a thing called AqueroN. I really do. I think you can definitely come back. Anyway, as you guys can hear, we're getting into map number 4. I'm really hoping AqueroN gets a map here. I want to see as many maps as possible. I want to cast as many maps for you guys as possible tonight. But I'm sure all you Marsman fans out there are hoping that he takes a swift 5-0. I think it's going to be a lot tougher than that. Let's do this. Spawning in the bottom left of New Repugnancy, the rush map in this pool. The rush map. Playing for Spain, playing Terran. He really needs to get something going in the series. He's AqueroN. In the top right, coming with 3 different builds and 3 different wins. Can he make it 4 in a row? Playing for Black Knight. He is Marsman. For a minute, I thought that was a bit smaller, and I was like, no, surely not a cannon rush. And I was like, okay, it's not. You've got to be a madman or Printf or Xenodactyl to cannon rush in PvT, in my humble opinion. And probably Parting. Parting probably does it as well. Barracks on the way. At home, not going to be proxied, which again, as I said before, proxies aren't nearly as strong. The only proxy I really like in this matchup is the proxy barracks, and you get a reap out really quickly. You try and pull the Protoss off the normal build. You know, you get like especially get a very fast zealot. The Protoss has to get a very fast zealot, so that already puts the Protoss off their build. Oh, this SCV is going to be able to survive though. Marsman might get greedy and try and dive on it, but really good micro so far. Marsman does manage to delay this barracks. Nothing more. It's going to be Nexus. Gateway Nexus. Super standard from both players so far. I'm always going to say, oh, look at the way this probe's going, but I think I've learned with Marsman. I think he likes to hide his probe and he likes to come in for a secondary scout. Especially because he delays his robo for so long with that early Twilight Council. I really like this. He really does need to start getting some scouting information. Or AqueroN needs to realize that he's just killing this probe every time and needs to try and do something aggressive and throw Marsman off. Like, just get very fast Widow Mines. Like, switch just onto the factory onto the reactor and just get as many Widow Mines out as possible before Marsman's really in position to deal with them. Get a medevac out and just mass drop them at the mineral lines. This time he's sitting in a different place to where AqueroN's, but he's gonna find the probe anyway. And this is really diligent scouting from AqueroN. He's really doing really well for getting this probe. It does delay the Reaper for a bit, and that allows Marsman to just, by the time this Reaper gets across the map, there's already an Adept out and even a Stalker about to come out. Okay, let's see what Marsman does with this Twilight Council. I'm betting my life it's blinked this time. There we go. I was willing to bet my life. There's no way he was getting TTs in a two TT bolts in a row. Reaper is going to be able to jump up here. Oh, might get a probe. Adept and Stalker was out of position, so forced a little bit of mining time. This Reaper's definitely doing a lot more in this game. I believe you can also jump here. This is why we've been seeing a bit more Reapers lately, especially in TVZ. It's just because Reapers are really good on this map. You can really start pulling your opponents apart if you get enough Reapers. Oh, Reaper does need a tie-tailed out of there. Okay, I apologize. I missed this. It's going to be Hellions follow up. I'm going to scout it. And this Adept is dead. If this Adept survives, I'll be very surprised. But it does give Marsman time to get a wall off and get his Stalker in position. Adept, I believe, did go down, yes. I actually love the full wall off. I don't think 2 Stalkers would have been enough. Really good scout. That Adept gave its life. But it did huge amounts of scouting. I think he killed the probe, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he did. Okay, he's just leaving him to camp if a probe goes for a third base. While this is happening, AqueroN's getting some Cyclones. He's going to start Banshees. This might be... Okay, I was going to say this might be some kind of mech, but the fact that he stopped the Cyclone and is going for tanks and is currently reactoring out Marines with the Raven, this is going to be a Terran 2 base push, I think. We still see no upgrades, no engineering base. So that points that it's going to be if some kind of 2 base pressure, maybe trying to build some bunkers like he did in the game number 1, or it could just be he's going to make 2 Ravens here. He's going to try and get a huge Dorito missile and try and just melt this Protoss army as quickly as possible. I really like that AqueroN's kept these Reapers and this Reaper and Hellion out on the map. It's still very, very worrisome if Marsman pushes out. But he does have enough now. Okay, I like this from Marsman though. He can blink out. Okay, don't lose a Stalker. Okay, nice. He does need to see what Marsman's doing though. And he's not really going to be able to get into the main because this Raven is camping where an Observer normally would go. Okay, it doesn't look like it is going to be any kind of 2 base pressure. I mean, from AqueroN, he did get his 3rd base a lot earlier. Doesn't mean you still pull some SCVs and you go with some Marines, and you try and catch your opponent off guard. But he has gone single eBay. Or Hellions, most of them do get shot down. One Reaper and 1 Hellion will get out. These Stalkers are still being super annoying. This Observer almost died. Don't know how it survived. The Viking must have not been in position to snipe it down. But the 3rd base is going to be a lot more delayed for Marsman. I think he was a little scared of something from AqueroN. You are always a bit worried as the Protoss player. So he's like, okay, I'll delay my 3rd base a little bit. I know you haven't taken a 3rd base yet. I'm camping basically both locations. So, I think AqueroN is in a better position this game than he's been in any of the other games for sure, and he's definitely going to be able to set up the space. Ooh, no, bad idea. Oh, no, AqueroN, not like this. Okay. So this is nice for Marsman. Just delaying the base a little bit by little bit is really nice, because as his 3rd base was so much later. Definitely, AqueroN's in the best position he's ever been in the series so far. Even though these SCVs were not mining efficiently for a long time, he's going to have his 3rd base set up a bit earlier. He's going to have access to mules, actually basically at the same time, which that's okay for Terran, no doubt. He is going to be behind in the upgrades though, because he only went single eBay. A lot of Terrans have been doing, but it's not terrible like it was in game number 1. He's going to be able to get an armory soon. He's going to be able to start at +2, so upgrade's going to be about equal, with Marsman being a little bit ahead. Storm is on the way. There was no robotic spade this time. He's just going straight for Storm. This is actually a very scary Terran army. Marsman has to be very careful. AqueroN has actually got a really strong army together, and if you can hit before there's a lot of storms out. Even if he hits as storm comers, there's actually a good chance that this could kill Marsman. He's behind Army Spy. He has to get really good storms to make this work. Marsman has to chrono the storm out so much. AqueroN's going to get into a actually nice position. Okay, no, Marsman is expecting this. He's already in a good position to intercept this. There's only one tank. There's a lot of missiles here. This Raven could even put the High Templar offline, which could be huge. I mean, AqueroN has a huge army spy lead, but with Storm finishing up, let's see what happens here. Mars's army is going to come in. First Stalker's blinking. Oh, huge! Huge hits from those mines. This was the perfect start for AqueroN. Even though he didn't get any of the storms, there was a huge Dorito missile, and those he baited those Stalkers to blink into these water mines. This is much better from AqueroN. He's starting to really pull Marsman apart. Marsman's really split here. There's no units here. This gateway's going to go down, even though it wasn't powered. Okay, interesting choice there from AqueroN. I guess he's still a bit worried. This army, it's still not his full army, and he wants to just buy as much time as possible, because if those charge lots waste their charge on those Marines, that would have probably been very dead Marines. But, I mean, at the end of that, even though it was looking rough at one stage for Marsman, the bottom line is he didn't lose a base, he didn't lose that many probes, he only lost 2 gateways. He was able to get his storm out. He's still getting his upgrades out. So, I mean, he can be okay with that. He defended. But while this was happening, AqueroN was taking up. He was getting a 4th base. He was getting ghosts. He's even starting to get liberated. He will have to switch back to medevacs at this point. But he can really start pumping out a lot of units with a very, very, very good economy. 4th base does go down for Marsman. He's getting a Roro Bay. I actually would believe that for this time it's going to be straight into Disruptors. And at some point, Colossus. But I think he's going to make a lot more Disruptors than he made in game number 1. But Marsman's moving out to see if he could. He's going to posture and try and deny this 4th base. I don't know if he has enough. I don't think AqueroN has realized he hasn't landed this base, because he needs to land it like now and start a planetary. There's a charge shot warping in the main, which will suit Marsman a lot, because it pulls this army away. Yeah, a bit of a mistake here from AqueroN, but actually it's going to work in his favor in a way. There's no way you can ever push up this ramp. There's so many Terran units. This is the kind of moves he was making in game number 1 that got him into a good position, though. He kept denying the 4th base of AqueroN, and that really put him in a great position. But there was some SCB damage done in the main, and I believe at the 3rd base, 3rd base, could have been a Liberator, maybe a couple of Water Mines. Have done a lot of probe damage. There's actually a fight going on here. There was a nice EMP on these High Templar. There's no storms here. I think AqueroN can actually just storm on this army. He does need to be careful. He doesn't want to go into the Archons. First Archon goes down. Huge Dorito missile. The Archons are not going to be able to finish. GG's called. AqueroN gets on the board. Much better from him. Much, much better from him. He didn't. I think he felt like, okay, in that game, I'm just going to kind of posture and maybe make you think I'm going to go for an attack, which made Marsman delay his base a long time. And AqueroN just macroed at home. He got his units together. He got a very strong army. Even though that first attack didn't really get probe damage, he still whittled the army away quite a lot. And a lot of Stalkers went down. A lot of gateways went down. And we ended up in a position where, because the storms are still super scary for Marsman, but we obviously missed a couple EMPs that went down, blanketing that entire High Templar. And once those High Templar were hit down, that game was very over for Marsman. He could never escape. Okay, AqueroN got on the board. That's exactly what I was hoping. Now, this has been actually like a really high octane. Even though the game 1 was not a lot of attacking for a long time, it got super stressful and high octane very quickly. And that game was. There's still a lot happening. Okay. Next map is going to be Port Alexander. Map number 5 already. Wow, this series has gone so quickly. doesn't feel like there's been 4 games. Not at all. Okay, everyone's in lobby. Marsman is ready. AqueroN is ready. We are loading in. I really think AqueroN now, with the momentum starting to go into his side, could definitely tie this up at 3-0 at some point. One of the really nice things that when I switched to playing random was there's never really a race bias that I want Terran to win here or I want Protoss to win here. So that's always nice as a caster and a viewer. Because, I mean, when I was playing Terran, I used to get super salty when Terrans used to lose the shit that I thought that was completely overpowered. Or I think there was a long time, and Terran will attest to this, where I hated TVC because I thought this was the most unbalanced matchup I've ever played. So can just do whatever they want and they can win the game. I was talked in. I had a very stern talking to. Now I look at the game very, very differently. But enough talking. Let's get into introductions for these players. In the top left, Fort Alexander, representing Black Knight. He's given 1 map away in the series. He won't want to give any more. Can he win the next 2 and take the series? He is Marsman. And in the bottom right, representing Spain, taking game number 4. He's got the momentum on his side. Is he able to claw his way back into the series once more? He is AqueroN. Okay, Pro's going to come in basically at the same time. It is going to start zapping this SCV. AqueroN is going to start scanning for a proxy. I think he'll be a lot more diligent this time. Even though there is not going to be a proxy, there's going to be gateway nexus. So it's standard as it could be from both players. I think maybe AqueroN, especially maybe the first game he's watched and played against Marsman more than enough times to know what maps he goes for those kind of builds. So as soon as he loaded into this, he was like, okay, good possibility that it could be this. So he's scouting diligently. Reaper's going to come out, but I don't think he needs to scout anymore. He has scouted almost every location, so he can send the Reaper straight across the map. I think that would be the best play here. Not worry about the probe that's out on the map. Send this straight across this map, the Reaper, because he needs to know really what Marsman is doing if he has taken a Nexus. You can assume, but you're never exactly sure. Okay, what do we see from Marsman? AqueroN, he's going to be going for Reactor again. It's going to be a Twilight Council, much faster. Twilight Council from Marsman, much faster than usual. I mean, not for him for sure. Blink is going to be on the way, or could be DTs again. Okay, actually, I'm not going to call Blink this time. I've been wrong once before. Oh, straight to Tech Lab for AqueroN. Okay, normally when you go for a Tech Lab this early, you normally go for early Cyclones. Or if not that, then you go for early tanks and you really try and put pressure on your Protoss opponent. Okay, it is going to be Blink from Marsman. Cyclone. Okay, interesting. He still may cancel Cyclone and go for tanks. But I think he wants to... Cyclone definitely helps you defend in like shenanigans at home. Like Stalker shenanigans. But I think he might try and get aggressive with Cyclone. It's possible he could go for some kind of drop with them. Nice lift on those supply depots. You don't want the Adept getting in and seeing what you're going for. That's the thing with Marsman. You really want to deny as much vision as possible because he goes for a later robo. And he goes for a very fast blink. So he's not going to have an observer out. Or he's not going to have oracles flying into your base. So it's going to be very difficult for him to scout. Okay, where's the first Cyclone? Out on the map already. Okay. I think again he might be scouting for this Adept. Cyclone will win this fight easily. And I think he is going to lift those Cyclones into the main. He might just take all these Marines with the medevac and just these Cyclones at home to defend. They're still very good in that regard. Robo is down from Marsman. He can start warping in 3 Stalkers at a time now. This is exactly where he wants to be. He's going to posture to take third base as well. Okay, Cyclones are going to head out on the map. Oh, this is nice. Okay, it was wrong. I was wrong with every guess. It's Cyclones with the Reaper and some Marines. And you're trying... Oh, I don't think that probe spotted it. Yeah, as AqueroN, I think you leave it. You just fly your medevacs in. And even though there is quite a few Stalkers, they don't have Blink yet. There's no Blink micro. And these Marines and Cyclones could do a lot of damage here. He does need to micro back the Cyclones as much as possible. The first Stalker's locked on, but a huge pick off on that first Cyclone. And Blink is now finished. Marsman can actually just keep blinking back with micro, but now he's got enough Stalkers. He can easily blink on top of this. Just needs one more warp in of Stalkers. A bit more blink micro, and now he has what it takes to take out this army. He's not even going to lose a Stalker for this. All the Marines go down. But 5 probes did go down though, so still that's okay damage for AqueroN. It wasn't all in. There was literally a medevac, a Reaper, 2 Cyclones, and some Marines. He gets 5 workers, and he puts himself into a position where he feels like he's still very much in economic equality with him, because he's with mules. And he's third base. AqueroN's 30 started his third base, and Marsman is yet to take his. Double eBay coming down. He's going to go for double upgrades this time. I mean, Marsman's going to look to see if we can do any counter damage. With this Raven, this tank, and these Marines, there's no way these Stalkers should do any damage. Depth is still alive, patrolling this right side of this map. Colossus and extended thermal lance on the way. +1 is on the way as well. Marsman's getting his upgrades and his tech going, but I really like AqueroN's position. I'm not saying he's like super far ahead, but he's definitely not behind like he was in the first 3 games. That pushed. It didn't do a lot, but it did enough for sure. And especially with the fact that Marsman delays his third base a bit later, AqueroN can be pretty happy with it, where he is right now. I wouldn't be a fan if he moved out. I don't think he is. I think he's just going to posture to take a third base. But if he was to move out, Charles Dotson, Colossus would just destroy him. And now he feels comfortable. He can take a third base. I completely agree with him. There's nothing that Marsman... I would be very surprised if he was went for a huge move out. But this is nice. He's going to get a Marauder. He's going to be able to get a Marine. Does need to be careful though, Marsman. Not exactly sure if Stim is done yet. And 1 Marauder with this Raven should definitely ward off these Stalkers for now. Now posturing to try and jump on these tanks, that would be again a terrible idea for Marsman. He's just posturing, keeping map vision, trying to be a little bit of a nuisance while he's getting his third base up and running. Again, AqueroN's head and workers, he's got to be happy about this position. He's going double upgrades this time, whereas Marsman's only going single upgrades. He's already got armor. He's got to be happy with his position. I mean, Marsman does not be... I don't want to say super far behind. I don't even think he's behind. From an AqueroN point of view, he's definitely in a better position than he was in this first 3 games. Probably even better than he was last game, because his third base has been set up much quicker. But Marsman could actually try and push into this army. Yes, this is still quite a small Protoss army. There is still 3 big heads here, and they can output a lot of damage with thermal lance. Big problem though for AqueroN, I mean for Marsman, is this Raven. He can put 3 classes offline very quickly. Okay, this is going to be interesting. AqueroN is posturing to move out, but I think this could be the worst possible thing he could do. Nice force field. Those Marines and Marauders are going to go down. Nice trades already for Marsman. And now Marsman can... I think he can feel comfortable trying to push into this. There's still 2 Water Mines guarding these tanks. But he's got Archon this now. This is giving a strong Protoss army. But again, as Marsman, you've got to be careful, because this Raven can put all your Colossus offline very quickly. And there's still 3 tanks which are shelling so much damage. I think Marsman has to go home. He's got to wait for Storm. He can keep posturing. I don't mind the posturing, but pushing into this would be literal suicide. But he's going to go for it. Four sentries have engaged with their Guardian Shield. Tanks are going to start going down, but a lot of the Zealots did fall. He can. Oh, this is perfect for AqueroN, I think. Where is the Raven dead? No, the Raven's still alive. Where's the Raven? Raven is the key here. Or did it die? Maybe I'm wrong. No, he's still alive. I don't know where the Raven is. I think it might be across the map. But this, he's killed. Marsman's killing a lot of SCVs here. Where's this goddamn Raven? It needs to be here. It is dead. Where is it? Am I blind? He definitely had a Raven. So where is it? What is happening? There definitely was a Raven. Okay. I will stop ranting about the Raven. Yeah, this is bad for AqueroN. He can still hold this, but that Raven, he would have shut this down so hard. He's going to have +2/+2 finish pretty quickly. Okay. He's moving in a position where his cluster can start shooting this base. AqueroN is probably going to have to lift again. He does lift, but this is a huge Terran army. Colossus are going to start getting on top of. Really nice micro there from Marsman. He keeps microing these Colossus backwards. I mean, he's got to be careful, Marsman. I really do think he's got to be careful. Oh, because this army is getting super beefy. That's a lot of Marauders. And there's a huge drop going across that. Where's this goddamn Raven? There was definitely a Raven. So how's it not on the units lost tab? And it's not in the units tab. How does that make sense? Okay, ranting over. Oh, this is a huge Nexus snipe, I think. But at the same time, this third base is being ravaged. Both players lose bases. But I don't think there's anything really at home that Marsman has to defend this. Okay, he's going to force a recall. This is really nice for Marsman, I think. I mean, for AqueroN. Good lord, I got to get that under control. Terran, you can do a lot more on two bases, and his army is getting really strong. You really do need the gas income as the Protoss. Okay, well, are we in a really weird position? I think both players are still very much in this. Very much in this, but I mean, my logic, my brain is telling me two base Terran is better than two base Protoss. Especially one with like AqueroN, who's got a really nice big army supply lead. Okay, so third base is going down from AqueroN. It looks like he's going to be defensive. I wouldn't mind Marsman taking his own replacement natural, which would now be his third. I would call it his third. This is his natural now. Well, this is two Widowmines. Oh, they've evaded everything. If two more probes go down here for Marsman, this is going to be really bad. He pulls. Widowmines do burrow. Okay, really good micro so far from Marsman. If he had lost some more probes, that would not have been good. But at the same time, AqueroN has pulled all these SCVs going for this. Very surprising call from him. Storms come down, huge storms, but the Marauders are able to tank it. Another huge storm on the left side. AqueroN is super all in. He has to win the game here. His units are starting to take so much damage. This Protoss army is living. Another huge Marauder flank. Nice storm. Sentries are still alive. They can even go with Guardian Shield, but the Terran army has been routed. And I think Marsman can aim move his army to a victory. I think AqueroN misread this game a little bit. He thought he had enough. He thought he should pull the SCVs, but I don't think he had to. I think he just needed to stay at home and set up this third base. Even though Protoss saw a lot of their tech units alive, he would have been really far ahead in that regard because Marsman hasn't taken a base yet. Sorkers come in, they are able to blink out to get a free medevac. There's no storms on his army yet. Okay, AqueroN's going to try and fight as much as he can. He's shaving a few zealots off. Another medevac's going to go down. Even though there's 4 medevacs, those medevacs are going to run out of energy really quickly. I mean, AqueroN just has to hold this base. If he holds this base, he's okay. He can win this. But I don't know if he has enough. Huge force fields. The first performing orders are going down. They're marking all the way back. SCVs are going to go down. Storms go down. Marsman takes game number 5 and gets himself onto match point. Oh, I really was really liking AqueroN's position in that game. I don't know what happened to that Raven. I still don't know. Because that Raven would have been the key. He would have shut down all those Colossus. And he would have held that easy. AqueroN would have won that game if the Raven didn't do a disappearing act. He must have lost it. Obviously, it's not showing up on the unit's lost tab. But there was definitely a Raven. Okay, let's see what the next map is going to be. I believe there's only King's Cove left and maybe Karos. Let's see what AqueroN picks. This could be the potential last map already. I really hope AqueroN can pull it back here. He's shown that he can definitely do it. Okay, we're going into Kara, so we are almost at our full complement of maps. Hopefully AqueroN can get us there. I know all you Marsman fans are probably hoping not, but more games means more StarCraft to cast, and that makes me happy. Okay, let's get these players in there. Let's get these hugely passionate Spanish casters in as well. Let's get this game underway. Really strange game that one was. When PBT can obviously get like that. You don't normally see like a Protoss move out like that. Not often at all. But sometimes it works. I mean, it worked there for Marsman. Because those 3 Colossus just kept doing so much damage. But okay, no more Raven mentions. Pretty sure you guys are tired of hearing about the Raven. Yeah, we're loading into our possible last map for tonight. Again, let's bless RNG that doesn't happen. More StarCraft, please. Okay, let's get introductions underway. In the top left, can he do the almost impossible and won the next 4 maps in a row to take this series? He's looked pretty good the last 2 maps. I believe in him. He's representing Spain. He is AqueroN. And the bottom right, 1 map away from this Alpha Pro Series 61 victory. Representing Black Knight. Play Protoss, he is Marsman. Okay. Not an early probe, but it's not late enough where it might not be a proxy. I mean, Marsman has got 3 maps to work with. He might have got, okay, he didn't really deal with the proxy game number 1. Let's see if I can get some damage done with that. But it does look like he's going to be annoying in the main. He's going to be sticking to the tried and tested. Much bigger fan of that. Even though me, being 4-1 up, would have definitely cheesed. That's why I'm Diamond and not GM. And I've won maybe 2 series out of 70 in online tournaments. Okay, Reaper from AqueroN. It's going to be Reaper Fast Expand. Gateway Nexus from Marsman. Exactly what we expected. Well, it's probably going to be an Adeptus and Stalker again. And let's see what AqueroN does this time. I mean, he's done very different things every game with his factory. I think you really do have to mix it up as a Terran. If you're just going to go Hellions every game, you're going to be hard counted. So you really do have to mix up what you get from the factory. I'm surprised I haven't seen a lot of Woodermine drops from him. But that is most probably because Marsman is very gets blinked very early, and that's a really good counter to it. I haven't seen. Okay, I was going to say that I haven't seen a Twilight Council yet. Here it comes. Again, sticking to the try and test. Okay, this is going to be a proxy starport. Okay, AqueroN's going to start mixing up a little bit here. Me liking a proxy starport. I wouldn't imagine it's going to be Liberators because Liberators are just so bad against like a Blinkstalker opening. I think he's going to go straight into Banshees, and because Marsman does delay his Observer quite a lot, he does delay his Rover, this Banshee might come in and do some damage. Oh, Adept meets the Reaper in the middle of the map. This Reaper won't do anything more. Has got 0 kills, so the probe did definitely come home this time. The starport isn't really in a position where you can put an add-on on, but obviously you can lift it. If you are normally going for an add-on, you wouldn't put it so close. Let's see what AqueroN does. He may be able, he may be just doing what I've seen a lot of Terrans do. They've gone for like Hellion pressure on the front, and then sneak a Liberator in the back. Even better. He's going to be lifting these Hellions into the main base. Marsman is normally so used to defending at the front with like the bare minimum. If he can catch the Marsman off guard, these Hellions could roast like 6, 7, 8 probes. I mean, look, he's putting his Stalkers in position. Like he's expecting this. I think that Depp probably saw a very distinct lack of starport. Okay, no, I didn't see anything. So there's nothing really that's prompted into this, but he does have these Stalkers in position. So yeah, I mean, AqueroN's going to get nothing done with this. It's not the end of the world. Again, not an all-in at all. But that really could have done devastating damage to Marsman. Hellions do come to the front, but yeah, gonna go home. Those Hellions are really not gonna get much damage done. I mean, he shouldn't go home with it, he should just always posture it, but he's definitely gonna have to look for another way to come in here. Liberator is gonna be the secondary unit coming out here. But again, Marsman should be able to defend this, is what he said. Doesn't mean he will, but he should. He's going to be going for Robo Bay before he gets stormed, so it's exactly what he did in game number 1. It probably into Disruptors and then into Colossus. Third base on the way for AqueroN. He's getting some tanks, he's getting some Marines. He's getting a bunker. He's probably battering down on and sticking on 2 bases until he gets his third up, like he did last game. No eBay yet, so that could point to a build he did similar into number 1 and try and get some city going. But with the way Marsman's so active with these Stalkers on the map, it might not be the best option. There's still no eBay yet. As soon as I see eBay, then I can really call this. And if I can consistently see a lack of eBays, okay, they double eBay. Never mind. This is not going to be that kind of stuff. Marsman is looking for this starport, but he's not going to find it. Starport is already halfway home. I believe the Liberator got nothing. It is still somewhere lurking in the map. Okay, here it is. It still could come in and get some damage done. But Marsman does have units in the natural. None in the main, though. Colossus is going to be coming out really soon. He's getting charged. External thermal lines. No disruptors this time. He's going to go straight into Colossus. Oh, this Observer seeing everything. This is really nice. This is very, very nice. You can see that something's researching, so he knows it's either combat shield or system, so he doesn't expect some kind of attack anytime soon. He's just got to make sure he deals with drops, and that's kind of, I think, where he feels he is right now. I think the Liberator did come into the main. No, it's still here. Something definitely came into the main because there was a bit of a probe pull. Maybe the Hellions yeah, the Hellions must have postured in again. Oh, he does need to be careful. One Stalker does go down, but he just get the rest out. Not the end of the world. AqueroN should be able to set up his base now. But Marsman knows. He knows with the Observer, he knows with the Stalkers. He knows that a third base has been taken. Back at home, has he got any upgrades? No, he's got no upgrades. Okay, this is interesting. He might be going for a Buster again. Like he didn't get the last game. Because, I mean, he hasn't even started a Forge yet. There's no upgrades even being thought of. Yeah, I think he's going to try and end the game again. It's not a fake third base, but he's definitely not going to saturate that fully. But these Hellions are still being super annoying. I don't know. I'm surprised. Okay, I think maybe Marsman realizes that he's probably not going to be able to bust this down. I mean, AqueroN is probably expecting it, so he's just going to go for the later than usual forges and just try and clone it out as much as possible. I mean, he did get +1/+1. Yes, AqueroN is definitely going to be up in upgrades for a very long time. Double gateway. Nothing really out of place now. He's just going to be behind in upgrades. He's probably going to get Storm at some point. And AqueroN is just building up his army, and he'll probably make a move out at some point. He's just going to send some charges across the map, see if he can deny a 4th base, like in game number 1, but it's definitely not on location this time. Settlers do get cleaned up. When AqueroN is getting quite a big army supply lead here, and he is going to be ahead on upgrades, there might be a window where he can just kill Marsman here, but you never know as the Terran. Observer's still out here. He's going to see if AqueroN ever really makes a move out this way. His Marines are out on the map. There's Charles outside on the map, so both of them do have kind of map presence. His Hellions are going to be able to clean up this setup though. Well, that's one thing I didn't think I'd be seeing late in 9 minutes in, is Hellions killing Spotter Zealot. The Spotter Zealot could probably kill a Hellion at this point. Ooh, one does go down. Second might go down. Charles lots are following up for these Hellions, and they better run. Yeah, you know the game's kind of like just going to stagnate a little bit and go into the late game when I'm hyping up. 10 minutes in, I hit a bunch of Hellions going down. These Charles are going to come in and be able to deny these turrets from going down. Not a huge pick-off. He definitely sees that the 4th base has gone down. So you can feel safe in taking his base. Well, safe enough. It's not like AqueroN is going to just put it all on the line and pull SCVs and go and try and kill Marsman. There's still a very difficult position here for Marsman, because there's quite a long period of time where he'll be down in army supply and upgrades, but he does have Storm about to finish. But there will be 2 ghosts. We're going to be seeing another really interesting skirmish in the next few minutes. Cannons are in the main, a few high templars, so they should defend against drops. That's one thing Marsman has really been good with, is dealing with those drops. Oh, that's actually a whole lot of Vikings. This is a strong army from AqueroN. I really like the addition of a disruptor at this point from Marsman. This is a lot of bio. Oh, this is a free High Templar. Really nice. It's the kind of picks you really want to start a fight. Yeah, I think this is going to be a very interesting fight. Oh, another spot. Oh, nice Storm. Marsman does need to stop being too cute with these. He doesn't have that many Storms. He needs to really have them in a frontal engagement here, because there's so many Vikings, there's so many ghosts in this army. This Disruptors could be MVP. AqueroN is going to try and separate these 2 bases. That would be really big. Disruptor does come in and get nothing. Second one is ready to come. Oh, really nice EMPs. I think all the High Templar don't have Storm. I think AqueroN could actually jump on this army. Fight's going to go down. These Colossus are dead. The Protoss army is melting. He's landing the Vikings. This should be AqueroN taking game number 6. Disruptor gets taken down. Second Disruptor gets taken down. GG's call. AqueroN keeps the series alive. Whew. I believe it's King's Cove. I just want to check for sure. And the first map was not King's Cove. The first map was... Let's see. Let's check for sure. Yeah. Marsman helps me out also a little bit. Cool. Let's get these players in. Oh, that was such a sick engagement from AqueroN. He got everything he needed to. He got all the storms, so those Vikings could just sit and snipe those Colossus. And once the splash damage was gone, that was a very dead army. AqueroN is alive and well. More than alive and well. Those are the kind of moves you almost have to make as Terran. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, he was too aggressive, why did he go for the attack? But sometimes you just have to be decisive. Because if the Protoss starts to get Tempest and a lot of storms, difficult position. Okay, as you guys can hear, game number 7 will be underway soon. I must say, been a fantastic series so far. Now, I was really hoping it wouldn't be like PVT set 3 months ago, which you never know, it could happen. There's a lot of proxies and a lot of like really aggressive stuff. It's really stuck mostly to the straight and narrow. Little DT builds here, you know, sometimes. And they did go, and Marsman did go for that aggressive build, but mostly we've seen the mid game, late game, which is always awesome to see. But we're not done yet. Hopefully far from it. In the bottom right of King's Cove, still on match point, playing Protoss, representing Black Knight. Here's Marsman. And then the top left, doing something sneaky. Putting it all on the line, maybe. Could just be Proxy Reaper. This is definitely going to be some kind of proxy though. In the top left, representing Spain, is AqueroN. Oh my god, if this probe spotted this thing, I would call MapX. So there's no way your probe should ever go up this way. It's basically a dead end. Okay, let's see. I think this from AqueroN could be just Proxy Reaper. Because as I said, I'm not really a huge fan of proxying all your buildings anymore. Cyclones are really just, which were the real heart of a proxy, was the key. But he has taken fast 2 gases. Not always a complete indicator. Obviously, you're never going to be able to. Okay, but Marsman sees now. Okay, he sees a distinct lack of barracks. Yeah, you don't take a Nexus. And you get maybe 1 shield battery. But let's see. I think this is only going to be a Reaper from AqueroN. Yeah, there we go. This SCV is going to take a command center. Oh, he's actually going to build a factory at home. Yeah, I mean, that's a very... Either the command center or a factory. It's a very huge indicator that this is going to be just a Reaper. Again, it's not an all-in at all. You're just trying to throw your Protoss opponent off. Marsman's really had his own way in the mid-game. This time he has to make a Zealot. He has to keep his units at home for sure. Oh, but the Zealot gets a nice shot off on already. Sorry for the lag, guys. I'm pretty sure that will go away pretty soon. Reaper. Just counting the Zealot. This is good for Marsman. He just wants to buy enough time for this Adept to come out. And the Adept does come out. The Reaper will be shooed away. There will be a second one. So Marsman does need to be careful. Probe's going to start going down really quickly. Actually, this probe manages to sneak in. He sees everything. He sees that it's not at base yet. It's going to be one very quick one-on-one. And most probably Cyclones. Here we go. I think you do have to go fast tech because the Protoss is going to have access to units quicker than they normally would. So you do need to get something like a Cyclone out. But I can imagine he's going to save up for a base pretty soon. AqueroN. As Marsman has put his down quite a long time ago. Oh, okay. Magfield accelerators this time. He has not done this once, even when he's gone Cyclones. This is a very huge indicator that AqueroN is going to make a lot more Cyclones than he has with Banshees. Okay. There's still no base taken yet. I think it might be coming down pretty soon. But I think he's AqueroN's going to be going into some kind of like battle mech composition, maybe Ferrari mech. I don't think he'll commit super hard to it. It's not as strong against Protoss, but he could get quite a few Cyclones in the early game and some Banshees and see what damage you can do with that. Very strange. We've got 400 ping. What is happening? Yeah, our internet is... I mean, we pay a lot of money for it, but we live in South Africa. First Cyclone does come in, though. It's going to be able to get away. I believe it got a probe and the Zealot. It's have 3 kills on it. Possibly got 2 probes there, yeah. And an Adept. Okay, this is actually really nice. This Reaper comes back in. He does spot that there's going to be a very fast robotics play. No blink this time. This is most probably going to be some kind of disruptor play. Disruptor drops, maybe. It's a distinct possibility for sure. These Cyclones, though, are going to start getting... he cancelled the Magfield accelerators. What a spoil sport. But again, not really an upgrade you want to be getting against Protoss. Like, I was trying to hype it up as something you can do. Maybe you catch your opponent off guard, but they kind of really have most of the tools necessary for to deal with Cyclones and Banshees. Especially someone like Marsman who goes really fast blink. You just get 2 shield batteries and they do help a whole lot against Cyclones, especially with an Immortal. This Banshee's going to come in. I don't believe there's any detection out yet. There's 2 observers, okay. Excuse me. One's across the map, but this Banshee shouldn't do a lot of damage. It does get 1. Maybe a second probe, yeah? 2 do go down, but with this observer out now, it's not terrible for Marsman. He only loses 2 here. The shield battery put in a lot of work keeping this mineral line free. But he's only got 1 observer. Not really a fan of the 1 observer when you see Banshees. I wouldn't mind, but to be fair, he does need to be super careful here because there is a lot of Cyclones heading across the map here. Even some tanks. Oh, he's going to go for a contain again. And if this Banshee is able to deny thermal lance, this would be like one of the biggest pickups in the series so far. But he can use a shield battery to save it. But yeah, these Stalkers now should be able to kill this Banshee. Okay. Oh, it doesn't see the observer. Okay, observer is on this Banshee. The second Banshee's on the front here. Bunkers are going to start going down pretty soon. This Immortal needs to run. This Immortal is so important. Okay, I don't know if he's going to... Okay, there comes the bunkers. No charge this time. But he is going to have blink. He's going to have access to a second Colossus. He's going to try and stop these SCVs from building. He's going to be able to. Really nice. This Colossus came out at the perfect time. He mustn't overextend here, Marsman. He just needs to wait for 1 more warp, and his gateways are about to finish. He's second Colossus as well. This attack should be routed down. AqueroN realizes he's going to go home. While this was happening, he was taking a 3rd base of his own. But he is going to be behind... Actually, I don't think Marsman started upgrades either. Yeah, no upgrades from Marsman either. Banshee does go down. War Prism is being chronoed out. I think Marsman is like, okay, I could actually really hit a brutal timing here. I might be able to take the series. If he blinks on top of these tanks and is able to gun them down quickly, then it's possible. But I actually like AqueroN's army, especially with the Raven. Hopefully this Raven doesn't do a disappearing act this time. Oh, and he picks up a free tank. Great start here for Marsman. He doesn't have charge, I believe, though. No charge yet. He doesn't have even a blink. He doesn't even have a Twilight Council. Okay, he needs to go home. I don't think Marsman does anything with this without blink. He has to have blink here. War Prism is going to come. He's going to have starting to warp in the depths. Okay, he's going to just shade onto us. Okay, no, don't go in yet. He's picked up 1 tank. There's only 2 tanks left. He just needs to shade these adepts on top of the tank. The depth shades are going to go in. AqueroN has to hold. If he holds, he keeps his tournament alive. First tank is going to start being focused by the bench. Huge Raven. That's what they were supposed to do in one of the games. I can't remember which one. No, Marsman just has to wait out these. Another class is in front of them, but the War Prism does go down. There's still only 1 tank though, but oh, that War Prism going down is so huge. I think Marsman might be in a... I don't want to say dead. He can take a 3rd base behind us, but oh, that game was most probably over if that War Prism didn't die. Yeah, put up bunkers, AqueroN. Marsman is not done. Oh, you don't want to lose Psych. Oh, nice. This is actually really nice for Marsman. But he doesn't want to lose the Colossus. Do not lose the Colossus. If he loses the Colossus, it's really, really bad. Another wave of depths is going to come in. I think he might try break this one more time. I don't think it's the correct option, though. He should just go home, Marsman, I think. He's done enough damage to feel okay. He needs to get a Twilight Cancel, and his stars needs to get Blink. I think it's a difficult position for him. He's not really sure because he is so far behind in tech because he's only got Thermal Lance out, really. There's no Twilight Council, there's no Forges. He's going to try and rotate up here. There is 2 Supply Depots blocking this, though. Warp Prism is here again. He's warping in a lot of Stalkers. He still has a huge army supply lead. Just remember, this army doesn't have a lot of tech. No, he should not let this finish. Supply Depots do go down. He is going to be able to get into a nice position here. Huge force field. This is a really nice position for Marsman. He needs to shade these adepts on top of these tanks. These tanks are actually, they're not defended. This could be a debate from AqueroN. He's pulling all the workers. Marsman needs to warp in as many units as possible. These tanks are living, but all the tanks go down. Huge warping of Stalkers on the low side. The army supply is dropping from AqueroN. I think AqueroN might be dead. I think this might be him in this series. He needs to rotate quickly to the bunkers. Gratis called and Marsman takes the series 5-2. Well, I thought AqueroN might have enough to hold there, but Marsman had other ideas. Wow. GG, gratis called. Really nice play from Marsman. Really nice play from AqueroN as well. Another day, I think he definitely could have had that. Raven got feedback, Lord of Terrans tells me. Yeah, but why did it show up at the lost the unit's lost category? That's my only thing. Okay. Wow, that was a really fun series to cast for my first time. It was a really cool series. Marsman is able to take it 5-2. Okay, all my admin work is done, so I can start to do outros. Thank you everybody for watching. What a fantastic showing that was from Marsman. Really fun PvT. I had really a lot of fun casting. I do a lot of adminning for these series, and I've never really actually delved into casting. Now that my internet is like really stable and I've been happy with it, even though we do sometimes get some lag in game, I'm definitely keen to cast a lot more of these. Thank you to AlphaX for always sponsoring us. Thank you to Afrika. Thank you to Sector 6. Right, definitely a huge thanks to Afrika TV for sponsoring these events. We could not do them without them. But yeah, this is going to be me, Phoenix Tears, signing off. Thank you all for watching. And actually, before we go, let me get the details for the next show match. But this Saturday will be the Howling Cup. It's a $200 tournament, so definitely go and sign up for that. The next show match will be Starkiller versus the Zerglord ZVZ, 3rd of March, 8 p.m. EST. I will most probably be adminning that. We shall see. Things can change, but that I might even cast. Who knows? But this is Phoenix here signing off. GG's to Marsman, GG's to AqueroN, and I will see you guys in the next one.